Assalamu alaikum, dear learners. How are you? I hope you all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. This is Mohiddin Ahmed, VGST teacher, Milestone School and College, Sector 4 branch. Like other days, today I am going to conduct with new lesson and topic. Dear students, please open your class work copy and write down the necessary information. I hope you will enjoy the class. Objective of the class: at the end of the class, students will able to understand agrarian society, industrial society, post-industrial society, modern age in Bangladesh, and nature of society in Bangladesh. Dear learners, today our video lecture number 8. Review of the previous class. In our previous class, we learned chapter 5, lesson 3 and 4. So right now I am asking some question regarding this lesson. First question is, what are the name of different societies? What are the name of different societies? Our answer will be, there are 6 types of society. They are hunting and gathering societies, pastoral societies, horticultural societies, agricultural societies, industrial societies, and final, right now, which is going on in the world, and it is post-industrial societies. What is another name of hunting society? What is another name of hunting society? Answer will be, the another name of hunting society is Stone Age Society. Stone Age Society, because most of the weapons were made by stone. Number 3 question, in which society man started of taming animal? In horticultural society, man started of taming animal. Number 4 question, who had started cultivation first? Who had started cultivation first? Our answer will be, women had started cultivation first. So students, this is all about of the review of the previous class. Dear student, most welcome of today's class. Today we shall discuss about chapter 5 and lesson number 5, 6 and 7. First one is agrarian society. In primitive time, women had started to cultivation, but men had started for cattle rearing. Men also took the responsibility of farming after the invention of plow. They started tilling by using bullocks. The use of plow and bullocks increased food production. In the area of flood and siltation, they scattered the seeds of wheat and barley on land. The agriculture gradually started in West Asia and Africa. On the bank of the river Nile, the Sindh Basin, the basin of river Euphrates and Tigris River were rained heavily. This is the picture of agrarian society. Industrial society. The increasing of man's attraction for knowledge and science made in Europe in the latter period of Middle Age. The Europeans discovered the knowledge and science of ancient Greek and Roman tradition. Dear learners, more than thousands or 200 years ago, Greek and Roman, they were famous in knowledge and information and also science. But at the same time, in the Middle Age, the European people, they rediscovered the knowledge and science of the Greek and Roman tradition. This is known in Europe as regeneration or renaissance. Newton presented his epoch-making discovery of gravitation. In the 18th century, steam engine was invented in England. It brought a revolution in the system of production. It brought a revolution in the system of production. This is the picture of industrial society in England. By using the concept of steam engine, spinning machine, mechanical loom, steamship, and rail engine invented. At this time, electricity was invented and it produced steam turbine which established large factories, trade, commerce, and communication. In this way, industrial revolution started in Europe and the pioneer of England. The use of aeroplane, radio, cinema, and the television began in the 20th century. So we can say that steam engine changed the global scenery. This is the picture of steam engine. And this is the picture of steam engine spinning machine. It was very popular more than 300 years ago in Europe. And that is why our famous muslin shari had been destroyed because of the spinning machine. Dear learners, right now I am showing you a video regarding the steam engine and the contribution of steam engine in Europe.
The Industrial Revolution gave rise to new ways of living, a wealthy middle class, and many new inventions. Perhaps the most important of the era was the steam engine. Before the invention of the steam engine, people used the power provided by animals, wind, and water to farm, mill flour, and transport goods and people. However, none of these sources of energy were as reliable as steam. Before the steam engine, factories still relied on wind or water power to drive their machines and were confined to certain locales. Steam allowed factories to be built anywhere, rather than just along fast-flowing rivers. Although invented as early as 1698 by Thomas Savery to pump water out of flooding mines, early steam engines were crude, inefficient, and prone to major malfunctions which often resulted in boiler explosions. It wasn't until 1712, when Thomas Newcomen developed the first steam-driven pump, that steam power really began to take shape. Unlike earlier designs which relied solely on steam pressure alone, Newcomen's engine featured a pump, which pulled the condensed steam upward as well as helped to equalize the machine's pressure with the atmospheric pressure, reducing the chance of a boiler explosion. In 1782, James Watt improved on this simple pumping engine by developing a separate chamber to condense steam. Subsequently, he created a steam pressure gauge and rotary engine that could drive various forms of machinery, such as the power loom. Power looms automated many parts of weaving, making the process faster and easier. Factories no longer needed skilled artisans to weave cloth. Many male workers were replaced with the cheaper labor of women and children. With this, both the cost of producing as well as the sale prices of textiles went down. For the first time, peasants could afford cotton undergarments, something that had been a luxury of the wealthy in the past. This use of child labor in factories inflicted major problems on the families and children. Children worked long hours in awkward positions with little time for rest. Many children developed deformities or were crushed when they were sent in to repair the giant machine. On top of that, a child was only paid, if at all, 1/10 that of a man. To ease some of the children's pain, Parliament passed the Factory Act in 1833. This limited the amount of hours children of certain ages could work. Children were also required to receive schooling for at least 2 hours a day. As England turned from a country that relied on trade and agriculture for its livelihood into one based on the manufacture of goods, they needed a way to deliver materials and products quickly. In 1803, Richard Trevithick built the first steam locomotive. Trevithick's invention was slowly improved upon over the years by new inventors such as George Stephenson, who created the first commercially available locomotive. Rocket could travel at speeds of 60 miles an hour while hauling 7 tons of iron, goods, and 34 people. Steam locomotives made it more efficient for factories to transport their goods across the country. The railroad rapidly spread and sped transportation. This created new jobs, forcing people to move into cities. Within only 30 years of the creation of the first commercially available steam locomotive, London's population grew from 1.1 million to a population of almost 3 million. The steam engine changed the world in a multitude of ways, not only economically, but also geographically. Factories were no longer limited to rivers and could be built closer to the sources of the raw materials and markets where the finished products were sold. The new machines developed from steam power required people to work them. This established a modern system of organized labor. Entire families moved from the rural countryside to be closer to the factories where they worked. By the late 1870s, the amount of people living in towns and cities had more than doubled. Steam-powered locomotives enabled the transport of people and goods over long distances, allowing industrialization around the world.
Thank you, students, for observing the video. Now, post-industrial society. In industrial society, machine takes the place of man and animals as the source of energy. After the industrial revolution, the base of society is knowledge and information. Professionals, service holders, scientists, information engineers, and people involved in service and recreation become important. Computer, mobile phone, and various media of communication like Facebook has made the world a global village. This process is called globalization. So dear, you can easily understand that by using mobile, we can easily communicate with the people of USA or Europe. So it is very similar that whenever we talk to our family members or village people, within very few minutes we can communicate the people of our area. But at the same time, within a very few seconds or microsecond, we can communicate any people around the world. So that is why the world we can compare with the global village. So this process is called globalization. So look at that. This is the symbolic picture of globalization. The world is linked with one another. Now students, please write down some related question from lesson 5 and 6. Number 1 question is, where did agriculture flourish in ancient period? Where did agriculture flourish in ancient period? 2. Civilization is the contribution of agriculture. Civilization is the contribution of agriculture. Justify the statement. Number 3 question. Explain the impact of industrial revolution. 4. What is called globalization? 5. What is Renaissance? Number 6. In which century steam engine was invented? In which century steam engine was invented? And final question is, when did railway communication start? When did railway communication start? This is all about the related question from lesson 5 and 6. Dear learners, please learn this lesson properly. Now come to the Bangladesh. Modern age in Bangladesh. This is the picture of modern Bangladesh in Dhaka city. Lesson 7, title, Nature of Society in Bangladesh. Modern age in Bangladesh. Now I am going to describe. By the process of changing the society, the world has reached in modern age, And with the advancement of time, today the society of Bangladesh has changed into a modern society. In Lalmai of Kumilla, Ware Boteshwar of Noshindi, in some regions of Chattogram and Silet, signs of primitive human settlement have been found. Agriculture was started in Bangla in this region. At that time, surplus crops were produced in agriculture. This is the picture of Ware Boteshwar, and these are found in Ware Boteshwar. Depending on this surplus, crops, some other occupations such as artisans, businessmen, and workers developed. Various customs, beliefs, values, and festivals emerged in this agricultural society, keeping agriculture in the center. Along with agricultural work, there were hunting and cattle rearing. Now, post-industrial revolution in Bangladesh. By changing the stages of society to the city-based population of Bangladesh entered into post-industrial revolution era. They have not forgot traditions of the previous social stages to some extent. So horticultural, cattle rearing, agriculture is contributing much to our economy. Industry did not flourish in the pre-liberation period due to negligence of the Pakistani ruler. Dear learners, for this reason, Bengali, they fought against the Pakistani ruler for free nation, for independent Bangladesh. But in the post, but in the post-liberation period, agriculture production has increased many times along with massive development of industry. Large business firms have been established in the big cities like Dhaka, Chattogram, and Khulna. At present, in the post-industrial revolution era, Bangladesh has joined in the digital revolution with the extreme development of information technology. Now in Bangladesh, multi-dimensional technology, including internet, software, and networking, are being used in every moment of life, including educational, administrative, social, and cultural sectors. Related question from the lesson 7. Number 1. Where was found the sign of primitive people in Bangladesh? Number 2. Which occupations were developed depending on the surplus crops? Number 3. Why did not industry flourish in pre-liberation period? Number 4. Where was found the sign of primitive settlement in Bangladesh? Where was found the signs of primitive settlement in Bangladesh? Number 5. Why has agricultural production increased in the past? Describe. Number 6. Bangladesh joins the digital revolution. Bangladesh joins the digital revolution. Explain. Now, students, it is the time for review of this class. Let's go. We shall try to review of this lesson. I am asking some question. Dear learners, please try to answer this question. First question is, what is called Renaissance? What is called Renaissance? Yes, your answer is correct. Renaissance is the Europe discovered the knowledge and science of ancient Greek and Roman tradition. This is known as Renaissance. I repeat again, the Europe discovered the knowledge and science of ancient Greek and the Roman tradition. This is known as Renaissance. Number 2 question. Where was steam engine invented? Where was steam engine invented? And answer will be Steam engine was invented in England. Steam engine was invented in England. Number 3 question. Where have been found signs of primitive human settlement in Bangladesh? Where have been found signs of primitive human settlement in Bangladesh? Our answer will be in Lalmai of Kumilla, Wari Boteshwar of Nosindi, in some regions of Chattogram and Sylhet, signs of primitive human settlement have been found. This is the answer of the question. Students, right now I am declaring your homework. Your learning homework will be given RQ questions, and this question from lesson 5 to 7. At the same time, your writing homework will be Bangladesh joins the digital revolution. Explain. And it will be learn plus write homework. This is all about today. Thank you very much for joining the class. Allah Hafiz. Please stay home, stay safe.